to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We started off talking Guardians, then we talked a little Cavs. Now it's time to talk about those Cleveland Browns. Quinshon Judkins had a solid, and I will use the word solid intentionally because if I say good, Adam the Bull might jump through the phone today and attack me for saying it was a good season. He didn't think it was all that good, but Quinshon Judkins had a solid rookie season. It got cut short due to a major injury, though. He is expected to be back in full capacity for training camp. So, in year number 2 with an improved offensive line, where do you see Quinshon Judkins ending the 2026 season in the hierarchy of the best running backs in the NFL?
Listen, this is one of the easiest questions y'all have ever put out there, man. Of course. This is easy as dirt, bro. This is crazy. And I'm the proponent who always talks about, what do you mean Quinshon Judkins didn't have no good season? Man, if you watch that blocking assignment up there wasn't no holes. He was getting hit in the backfield. Also, let's keep it real. No offseason, no training camp. Yep. How many games did he miss before he got to play?
I believe he played against he played against Baltimore. He missed one game, played week 2.
Okay.
And then had his breakout game against Green Bay in week 3.
So this guy comes in, pays dividends already. Most of the games that you won in the beginning of the season, I can give him credit for the Dolphins game himself. And there was a lot of plays that got called back. They had a ton of plays, either screens or other plays, long runs called back because of holding. When you look at this roster and you look at what he was able to do, and he had 2 rookie quarterbacks playing the majority of the time. You had Isaiah Bond, who didn't have any sort of offseason, and he came in halfway through the season. And Harold Fannin was your other number 1 target, who's a rookie. When you have all those rookies playing, and then your rookie that you're giving the ball to is behind a bad offensive line, what do you expect him to do? That's great numbers for those situations. So for me, it's going to be a yes. They've upgraded the offensive line. They may go get a top lineman, in whether it's Monroe Freeling or whether it's Maui Noah. They're going to get another lineman in the first round. They're going to get probably 2 more linemen after that. So the upgrades that you see on this team come specifically where it affects him the most. I guarantee that he's going to be a better bell cow back, and especially in the top 15.
So how are we judging top 15?
It's subjective.
But I'm saying, like,
not necessarily yardage, but just overall, you kind of know it when you see it.
Yeah.
See a top half of the
I
league,
just looked up yards per game or yards per carry, right?
And he was low last year.
He was low.
Yeah.
Like roughly 4.7 yards per carry is top 15. Can he get to 4? Yeah, I think he probably can. What was he right there? It is 3.6. Yeah, I mean, I think the ceiling's really high on Judkins. We said that all last year that. I think there's a lot of potential there, and with a little bit of help and with the full training camp with everything else, really good things could happen. Top 15, I think we get hung up sometimes on some of the numbers and some of the this guy's atop this guy's atop that. I think Quinshon Judkins has a chance to be one of the best running backs in the NFL, period, full stop. Label that however you want. I think he's a guy they can count on. He's a guy who can be the bell cow of their offense and a guy who could be the focal point of what they're trying to accomplish on offense.
When you look at the offensive line upgrades they made, Zion Johnson is now the 15th highest paid guard in football. All the scouting reports out of LA were, this dude's a mauler in the run game, just don't ask him to pick up a stunt. So that's a big plus for Judkins because at least you have one of the major upgrades being an offensive lineman who is proficient and dominant via the run. Elgin Jenkins, the center they signed, been a little bit better of a pass protector than a run blocker as a center, but when he was at guard was a mauler, and I was curious how the change of position kind of impacted him from that standpoint. I don't know enough about interior offensive line play, to think why someone's better at run blocking as a guard versus center, but we could dive into that another day. Tevin Jenkins, another guy, better run blocker than as a pass protector, and Titus Howard graded out pretty equally, better pass blocker than run blocker overall, but not a complete zero in that category. I go back and I remember some of the games, Green Bay mainly, the Minnesota game, where Judkins was running for his life behind the line of scrimmage. And I had a 5-pack stat one week where Judkins had more yards after contact than he had total yards because he was getting hit in the backfield so significantly and so frequently, and he was making something out of nothing. And even his 1-yard runs, which hurt his yards per carry average, should have been -3s. And when you start stacking 1s and 2s and eliminating the negatives, you're going to have a smaller yard per carry average, but it's not on you. If you're getting hit in the backfield, it's on the offensive line. So with the Browns' offensive line being, I think, pretty significantly improved, at least on paper. We have to see these guys actually pan out and mesh together. there's no reason that a healthy Quinshon Judkins can't be a top half of the league back. And to Jason's point, could he be one of the best backs in football? He's got to become a better receiver to, I think, round out that skill set.
Yeah.
But in terms of being a pure runner, all the things we saw in his rookie season should get even better in his sophomore campaign with an improved offensive line. I think top 15, I should have made this top 10, G. I think he's got all the capabilities of being a running back that you can build an offense around.
And plus, I think also you take a look at the jumps you're expecting. If you expect a jump from Shedeur Sanders, if you expect a little bit of a jump from Isaiah Bond, if you already know Harold Fanning Jr. is a baller and you expect a jump from him, you take and add another piece, maybe it's a Cardinal Tate, you take and add another piece as a lineman, and you get another few pieces, and then you say, okay, well, now those guys are going to be performing better and have a higher performance in their second year, then you expect the surrounding cast to then elevate what Quinshon Judkins is able to do. And I think that's what the Cleveland Browns are expecting, that their young guys take the next step. And if they take the next step and get an off season, and because there's a thing called a rookie wall, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
These dudes be playing a lot of games,
Yeah.
and they try to get their legs up underneath them. But my goal for all rookies is if you can end the season, you're not injured, you can get to the off season and then add something to your tool belt, get better. I think that's where you see the jumps.
And also, if the pass game's improved, and Shedeur takes that next step forward, like I think we all hope he does for the Browns' sake, or if it's Deshaun or whoever it is, if the passing game's improved, it can't be much worse than it was last year.
Yeah.
That opens up more opportunities to run the ball.
Yeah.
Less 8-man fronts, less heavy boxes. And then with Judkins taking that next step, because he's take that sophomore year leap, it's going to let more play action opportunities for the quarterback. They go hand in hand. And if Todd Monken can kind of marry those things together, Browns' offense could look a lot more dangerous than it did in 2025.